everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Tapping with TT. He is no stranger to the show. I've been interviewing him for years. It's Neo.
Yeah. How you are? What's going on, love?
Oh my gosh, Neo. I feel like I've officially been through every phase of your career. Okay?
In some way, shape, form, fashion. You've always been there. That's all right.
Shape, form, or fashion. I've been interviewing you so much throughout the years, and just when I thought I knew everything about you, you surprised me. Okay? First of all, I remember when it was the Mix Show Power Summit many, many years ago, and you were coming in to meet all the DJs, and you were on the van, and you and I were sitting next to each other, and you were like, "Hi, I'm Neo," and I was like, "Hi, I'm TT," and we just got to talking, and this before anybody knew who you were. Of course, you were a writer and pinning for people, but before you came in front of the camera, from behind the scenes to in front of the camera.
I remember that.
And then over the years, like, I've just seen you progress, have children, get married, divorce, now poly stage, and like, just when I thought I knew everything about you, I'm like, this is the most I've seen you on the blogs, like, every day.
It's a little nuts. It's a little nuts.
But it feels like you're living your best life the way you want to live it.
Absolutely.
And that has to be a level of freedom, right?
I've realized that we, especially nowadays, and it's a little sad because I got to raise kids in it, that we live in a time where validation from strangers is like a currency, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like, we almost need to be validated by people that we don't know, will more than likely never meet in life. We need them to like us. We need them to follow us. We need them to approve of what we do, what we wear, what we say, whatever. And I've just kind of realized the truth, and the truth is nobody needs anybody's validation, especially people that aren't in your immediate circle. Like, you don't know, like, you'll let somebody say something crazy about you on IG, on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called. Somebody say something crazy about you on social media, you'll let it ruin your whole day.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this person don't know you. You don't know this person. You ain't gonna ever meet this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you let somebody else's negative opinion mean more to you than your own personal opinion?
Yeah.
Like, if I wake up in the morning and put on something that I think is fly, and everybody I see tell me I look crazy, all right, well, it sounds to me like y'all have an issue with my clothes. I don't have an issue with my clothes, but I'll let their issue become my issue. And I just basically stopped doing that. It's like, you know what? I'm not finna let y'all mess with my day up. I'm not finna let y'all change my mind on what it is that I want to do, how it is that I want to be, so on and so forth. This life is mine, and I'm gonna live it the way I want to live it.
And that has to be so liberating.
You have no idea. Once you stop giving a damn, and mind, it's not even so much that you stop giving a damn, it's just that you realize the truth. Opinions are not special, man. Everybody got one. Everybody, including you.
Yeah.
So you choose to focus on the negative ones, or you choose to focus on the positive ones. At the end of the day, happiness is a choice, and it is a choice that you make based on you. At least that's the way you're supposed to do it.
So when did you decide at this moment in your life, I am completely going to 100% be true to me?
I don't know if I can pinpoint the exact moment that I did it, but I know that it had a lot to do with my divorce, and, you know, just how many people that I hurt through the situations that happened within that divorce. You know what I mean? It just showed me that I could have been honest about a lot of things and saved myself a lot of headache and heartache, saved, you know, a lot of people that I care about some headache and some heartache. And I just decided I didn't want to ever make anybody feel like that ever again. I didn't want to be responsible for anybody feeling that way ever again. So I said to myself, in that moment, I'm just not going to lie about anything ever again. That's just what it is. I'm going to be 100% brutally, painfully honest about everything in my life. And when I say brutally, painfully honest, I also mean brutally, painfully honest with myself. Meaning, you know, I'm going to just try to be real with me about who I am, how I am, what works for me, what doesn't work for me, you know, and I can honestly say I'm happier now than I've ever been.
You know, because I always say you can hide from other people, but eventually you can't hide from yourself.
Oh, no.
Right? Because at some point in your life, you're going to hit that point where it's like, I can no longer hide who I am and what I want to be.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, you know, you and I have spoken during that time of divorce. I remember in COVID we spoke, and you actually tried to make it work, right? You guys were, it was very public. You guys filed for divorce. It was all over the internet. We spoke about it, and you said COVID brought y'all back together, and you tried to give it a second chance. You tried to work it out, but eventually it didn't work, right? And so now you're at the point where you are now, and I guess it feels like you're taking accountability for the hurt that you've caused other people. Like you just grew up. Like you grew up and you realized this is not it for me no more.
Definitely so. I mean, and mind you, there's definitely a cleaner and better way to do it than the way that I did it. It sucks that so many people had to get hurt in order for me to make this realization, this revelation, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I have taken accountability for the things that I did wrong. I've been forgiven for my wrongdoings, and everybody's moved on. Everything is cool now. Me and the mothers of my children, we get along as best as we need to. As best as you
can, right?
As best as we need to. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to be the best of friends all the time. As long as our kids know love and they're properly taken care of on every forefront, then that's the only thing that we just need to agree on, and that's where we stand at. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a hateful bone in my body towards any of them. You know what I'm saying? They may not always like me, and that's cool. That's understandable. But again, as long as our kids is good, then we good.
Yeah. But I know she did recently. Your ex-wife recently came out about the kids being a part of your poly lifestyle,
which doesn't make any sense because that's not exactly accurate. It's like, okay, when you say things like that, you make it seem like there's things going on around children that ain't supposed to go on around children. And that's not the case. That is not the case at all. Now, mind you, I don't lie to my children about what my relationship is. They definitely know that daddy has more than one girlfriend. They definitely know that. But you do not discuss with children things that you're not supposed to talk to children about. You know what I'm saying? You don't do things in front of children that children ain't supposed to see. And that's how we rock. You know what I'm saying? The only thing my kids know is love. They know love. They know that they are catered to and taken care of by everyone around them, including the women that I deal with. This one cooks. This one will set your clothes out for school in the morning. It's a community thing, and it's an appropriate community thing.
Yeah. And I think that's what's important, right? And whoever gets it, and who doesn't, that's your problem, right? It's not. You don't have to live your life for other people, and I think that's the hardest. I think that's the hardest thing as humans, right?
Of course
that we struggle with, right?
We are hardwired to almost need this validation from other people. Like if you think about it, from everything from what you put on your body to what you put in your body to where you go to who you're seen with, all of these things are based off of the validation of somebody else.
Because society.
It's society, right? Society. This big, vast, broad, vague word. Them, they. Who is them? Who are they? And why are you so concerned with what them or they think?
And then a dopamine from social media, put that on top of things. Yeah. And then you being an artist, right? Validation from fans. Like people. The consumption of what we consume every day will have us thinking like this is how we're supposed to live our lives, and it's just the total opposite.
That is not the case.
Yeah.
You do not have to do anything that society tells you must. You do not have to be anything that society tells you have to be. Like traditions are made to be broken. It just kind of is what it is, mind you. Now, mind you, I'm not knocking any traditions to be. Let me just clarify. You know what I'm saying? I know monogamous relationships that have lasted years, double-digit years. They happy, they thriving, and that's a beautiful thing. I say do what works for you. This is not me knocking any type of relationship, be it monogamous, polyamorous, whatever the case may be. Find what works for you. And once you find what works for you, understand that there are some people that are not going to get it. They're not going to understand why him, why her, why this, why that. And you are not obligated to answer anybody's questions. You're not obligated to explain yourself to anybody. Because again, the life you lead is yours. And the happiness that you find within that life is based on you. There's a gate around your heart and your mind. And you are the gatekeeper. You hold the key to that gate. What you let in is what comes in. And what comes in is what affects you.
Yeah.
If you don't let it in, it don't affect you.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And I don't know why it just seems like the cameras now are so like consumed with your life. Like I see you out and about on TMZ, you could be shopping and they're like tracking you, or somebody's posting you on social media, and you've always been public. But I don't know, because poly has existed.
It is not a new thing. I mean, I might be a touch more open about it than some, but it's definitely not a new thing at all. I get it. It's not the norm, and anything not the norm is going to get some attention. But I think the thing is, I've decided to let the people that have decided to not understand simply not understand. And especially considering the fact that I've been an open book. You can ask me anything. I'm going to answer your
songs too, by the way.
From my music to just interviews like this. Listen, if you genuinely want to know, ask. But if you've decided to not understand, if you've decided to make up in your mind what you think it is, I'm going to let you rock with that.
But
that's not my problem.
I genuinely want to know, are there rules though?
Of course.
Okay, so can they have multiple boyfriends?
No.
So
So here's the thing. I have not demanded exclusivity from any other women that I'm with. I've not said to them, all right, if you're rocking with me, it's just me. I haven't asked for that. None like that. They offered that to me. They came to me and said, I want to be exclusive to you. I said, you understand that your exclusivity to me does not mean my exclusivity to you. Those do not equate. They said, yes, I understand that. I said, all right, if you are exclusive to me, this is me accepting your exclusivity, and now there are rules that I need you to follow. Now, mind you, nothing is above a conversation, all right? I leave the door open for all conversation because I don't do ownership. I'm not your master. You're not my property. You are my partner. So let's talk about it. Should one of them decide that they see somebody that they want to deal with or whatever the case may be, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. But at the end of the day, understand that in that you've offered me your exclusivity. If I say no, the answer is no.
Yeah.
And that's just what that is.
Yeah.
They understand that. They rock with that. I think the misconception here is that I'm making somebody do something.
Yeah.
I'm not. The door swings both ways in regards to this relationship. No one here is a prisoner. No one here is here by force. If you do not like what's going on here, if you do not want to follow my rules, if you do not want to be here, the door is open at any given point. You can walk away.
What's your number one rule? It's just honesty?
Honesty and respect. I'm the head of the household. Respect me as the head of the household, and don't lie to me because I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to be brutally honest about everything. And we talk about everything. We talk about insecurities. We talk about jealousy. We get into all of that.
Do you have a lot of jealousy going on? Like when you have to balance between the two?
Not a lot.
Three or four?
There's four. There's four. And mind you, it's four different personalities.
That's a lot to juggle, Nia.
It can be. But see, in the realm of that, you have to see. I genuinely feel like, and mind you, this is how I feel. This is one man's opinion. I feel like a woman will submit to something worth submission to. A woman will submit once you give her something that is worthy of her submission. She ain't gonna submit to just anybody, just anything. You have to show her a king. That's just the reality of it. I've shown these women a king, and they've recognized me as that, and they let me lead. And it's a harmonious situation because they let me lead. Now, mind you, a good leader is not a dictator. I'm not saying that I don't care what y'all think. I don't care about y'all's opinion. You know what I'm saying? Before the fourth member of this situation was brought into the situation, I had a conversation with the existing three and asked them what they thought about it. You know what I'm saying? So that we could all, again, be on the same page in regard to everything that we do. That's the way that we solve problems. That's the way that we move through life. We move as a unit. It's never us versus us. It's us versus the issue.
Yeah.
We get together and we resolve the issue.
Do y'all all live together?
Not right now.
Yeah.
Not right now. We, mind you, the majority of the time is spent in my crib because mine is the biggest. But but everybody has their own spots. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's interesting because women that I have spoken to and women just in conversation, hairdresser talk, nail shop talk, they all say they want that. They want full transparency. They want men to just be upfront and be honest. And they want men to lead. So I've had this conversation with women on multiple occasions. So it doesn't seem too far-fetched that this is what you're asking for and this is what these women are buying into, because especially like women who kind of feel like, they want to be with someone who has that leadership quality, that has that, like, thing about them. Like,
the
women,
term that I've been hearing lately is soft girl era.
Yes,
they want a man that allows them to fall into their soft girl era.
Yeah,
and I totally understand that. I totally get that. Mind you, I feel like there might have been some slight misconception with the whole Miss Independent thing.
Because you created that.
I will definitely take. Excuse me. I would definitely take responsibility for some of this misconception. Everybody needs somebody. I don't think that we as human beings were designed to do it on our own. Now, mind you, it's dope if you can do it on your own. Okay, I feel like the era of damsel in distress, I feel like that's gone. Mm-hmm. However, that's not to say that you need to be out slaying dragons by your damn self. Now, if situation and circumstance put you there and you got to do what you got to do, then you got to do what you got to do. But to be so independent and so strong that you're literally warding off any men that might actually want to come in and help you smooth that thing out, like that's not what I was aiming for. And mind you, the song Miss Independent was written about the women that I grew up around. I grew up in a house full of women. My mother, my sister, my grandmother, 5 aunts, and me.
Aunts, yeah.
And these were women that were not waiting around to be rescued. You know what I'm saying? If something had to be done, they did it. If a tire bust, they was changing that tire.
Black women. Most black women have been the backbone of their families, making sure it gets done, taking care of everything.
And that is an applaudable trait. Mm-hmm. However, I feel like sometimes that strength, you tend to carry that strength to where it almost becomes a part of your personality, and then it's very hard for you to find your soft girl era because
let the guard down. Yes.
You've had to be Miss Independent for so long. It's real hard to find somebody that you trust with your soft girl era, so to speak. You know what I mean? But when you find that person, then that makes it all right for you to ease up. That makes it all right for you to let somebody else handle it. It's like, all right, I know you could crush the spider yourself, but I'm here now. So let me handle that. Like that's when you're supposed to fall back a little bit, knowing that you have somebody that you can fall back on.
Well, Neo, some of these men also don't have the finances that you have to be able to.
See,
can we talk about that?
That's another misconception.
Okay, let's talk about
that. People are under the impression that I'm paying for everything for these women. All of these women have their own jobs, have their own hustles, make their own money. Mind you, nobody's making the money that I'm making, but I mean, come on, I'm a celebrity. It's a different situation. These are regular women with regular jobs. If it wasn't me paying their bills, if they gonna pay their own bills, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is.
But do you happily pay their bills?
Now, mind you, I'm old-fashioned in the sense of that. If I take y'all to dinner, don't you dare touch your purse. If I take you to dinner, absolutely. If I want you to have something, I'm gonna go get it for you. Absolutely. Yeah. If you need something and I can help, I can help meet that need, then I'm gonna help because I feel like that's my duty. But also know and understand that if I wasn't around, what needs to be handled would still be handled because they would do it their damn self because they can. Yeah. That's the reality of it. And so no, you don't have to be a rich man to do this. Now you have to be a patient man. You know, patience is a currency that a lot of men seem to have a little bit of issue with. You know, if you're going to deal with multiple personalities, you have to develop some patience because there will be times where your patience will be tried, and you have to again maintain a leadership role. You have to again maintain a king's role if you're going to deal with multiple personalities, because there's going to be times where everybody's coming at you all at once with something, with some kind of issue, with some kind of problem that you need to resolve, that you need to calm everybody down so that we can resolve this issue. You have to hold that. If you can't hold that, then I would not recommend this type of relationship for you.
Yeah. This gonna make for a good album.
Oh yeah.
You got the single out right now, Show Me, but the album.
Album is en route. Yes. And it will reflect everything that's going on in my life. I feel like all of my albums are kind of like a snapshot of what's going on in my life at that moment. And this one will be no exception. Definitely.
Yeah. So we were talking behind the scenes that, we've entered the unk and auntie stage.
Yeah, man.
But the cool.
Listen, this 45 was not none of my uncle's 45, all right? Not at all. And I ain't mad at it. It's a J. Cole called it the middle child
definitely
moment,
the
where
middle
it's like,
child.
you know, I'm not young enough to be that, but not old enough to be that. I'm
right.
like right there in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't mind it. I don't mind. You know, it's like my compliments have changed. People run up on me like, "Oh man, you were my whole childhood," and I'm like, ouch. But thank you. Damn. Okay. It's like, oh man, I listened to you all the way through high school and the whole like. And mind you, it's refreshing because you know the business.
Yeah.
You know that they'll love you today and hate you that same afternoon.
Yeah.
And so for me to have been here, we just celebrated 19 years of my first album. That was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. 19 years of my first album.
That's beautiful.
That's a beautiful thing, man. Like, this is a very fickle business, and you know, folks don't stay around a long time. So for me to still be here, still thriving, you know what I'm saying? Again, on tour as we speak.
With
me,
Mary
Mario,
J. Blige, yeah.
Moving around with the For My Fans tour. It's a beautiful thing, man. I have zero complaint about my life in this current moment.
But
zero complaint.
People have to realize, you crossed over so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were on huge stages and on pop radio and your career has had a significant amount of success.
Absolutely.
Not just as a performing artist, but also as a songwriter, producer. You wrote some of the biggest records of our generation.
Indeed,
You were responsible for a lot of people's success.
Yeah.
And so
blessings, all blessings.
Having that longevity in the game is really important.
It's important, and it's I can only speak on my personal experience, but it hasn't been a terribly difficult thing for me, just because I don't so much strive off of trends and fads and what's hot right now. Like, mind you, I will always have a respect for the evolution of things because things have to evolve. I get that. But at the same time, there are certain elements of your artistry that are supposed to be ironclad. Who you are. You're always supposed to remain who you are. Now, you can adjust and adapt to what's going on. It's like, all right, nobody's using 8-track no more, of course. However, your personality, who you are as a person, who you are as an artist is supposed to be ironclad. And I've always attached who I am as an artist to things that remain timeless. The sound of a piano, the sound of a guitar, like a live instrument, these things will never go out of style. You know what I mean? No matter how far technology goes, you will always appreciate the sound of a good soft piano or a guitar or whatever the case may be. Love as a concept, love as a song title, love as an energy will never go out of style.
Yeah.
It might not always be the most popular thing, because of just, the way things work and the way the world is right now. But honestly, I feel like the way the world is right now, we need more people championing love now more than ever because things is getting crazy in these streets. Politics on down, it's getting nuts out here.
I 100% agree with you. And we need more timeless artists. I feel like we've gotten away from artist development and was so far into chasing trends and algorithms that when you look at a timeless artist, like not our generation, but the generation behind us, it's but a few that can stand the test of time and have catalog and depend on their catalog when this part of their career may be taking a dip. They're going to need that part to hold them down while they go through the valleys of the music industry.
I absolutely agree.
And we've gotten away from those timeless artists, and I'm hoping that we start to turn the curve as the industry's taking a hit and things of that nature.
I feel like one of the things that can help, and again, I can only speak from one man's perspective and one man's opinion, but the whole concept of making music for the algorithm, that is not the way. That is not the way. Now, I get it. From a business standpoint, it's very smart to make your song real short so that it can be streamed more and you make more money. I get that. I understand that. However, that is the epitome and definition of microwave music. It is here and then it's gone. It's quick. It serves a purpose real quick, but it's not fulfilling. It don't last.
Yeah.
The music that lasts, the art that lasts, again, in my personal opinion, is art that is done based off just the soul enjoyment and joy of creation. It's like when you're making a song, when you're in the studio putting together a beat, putting together a song, whatever the case may be, stop worrying about how long or short the song need to be. Let the moment exist. I recall a time in music where the intro of the song was damn near 2 minutes long before you heard anything, because it was like people have made the word vibe so special and so current, but don't even really understand what the word vibe means. A vibe has no time limit on it. It's like you wanna do the kind of music, you want to create the kind of art that exists outside of how long it takes or whatever the case may be. Because to be honest, a great song, it don't matter if the song is great and it's hitting you where it's supposed to hit you at. It don't matter how long that song is. That song could be 10 damn minutes long. You're gonna sit there and vibe for that whole 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But if you go into the studio with the mindset of, all right, this song got to be 2 minutes long because a 2 minute long song has to be streamed this many times, and they just gonna keep playing it, keep playing it. If you go in the studio with those shackles on, you're not going to create anything that can exist outside of those shackles. Don't put shackles on your artistic integrity before you walk in the studio. Go in there and just do what feels good. Beat a song 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever the case may be. If you found a vibe that feels good, because people forget, music is supposed to make you feel something.
Yeah, it drives emotion.
It drives emotion. It's not just something to get drunk to in the club with big, heavy 808 over the top. Nah, music is supposed to invoke some sort of emotion. Yeah. It's supposed to make you feel good. It's supposed to be there to comfort you when you feel bad. This is the actual purpose of music and sound and vibration. All of these things matter. So create from that space. And I promise you, if you find more artists creating from that space, we will get timeless artists again. Yeah. Because it'll be art that came from a real place as opposed to just commerce.
Yeah. Are you? I'm curious to know, when you're in the studio producing this album, and being that you're at this place in your life where you're so true to yourself, and you have decided to be honest with yourself first, like you've stated before. Would you say this project is probably your most honest project? Your most, do you feel like you're creating this music at a different level from the previous albums that you have created?
I think the only thing different about this project versus any of my other ones is that, so music has always been my safe space, right? From a standpoint of honesty, there's things that I couldn't say out my mouth that I could write in a song. You know, the song "Don't Love Me," if you're familiar with that song, was damn near a cry for help. You know what I mean? It was me realizing that I was not going to be able to be the man that I had promised I could be, and trying to get her to save herself, but realizing that I was not brave enough to say these things to her face. Had I been, again, probably could have saved a lot of time, a lot of headache, a lot of heartache. But so now the only difference is I'm just putting a magnifying glass on what was already there. Like, there is, if you genuinely want to know who I am, listen to my music. It's all there. The things that I don't say in an interview, you can find it in the music if that's ever the case. I am 100% me on these songs. There is no image, there is no gimmick. It's just 100% me. And again, it's me and it's my opinion and it's my outlook. If you disagree, that's fine. You're entitled to that. But, you know, I don't think that you should listen to this and feel like that you have to feel the way I feel, or that I have to feel the way you feel. My music has always been the soundtrack to life in general. You know what I mean? I feel like the concept of success in this has changed for me. Yeah. Like, I have 3 Grammys that I am eternally grateful for, you know, and my goal has always been to win more, you know, because my peers, the artists that I have been most inspired by, have multiple Grammys. But now it's kind of a different thing. It's like, you know, a music accolade definitely means something, but at the same time, what means more to me personally is knowing the impact that my music is having on people's lives. Yeah. If you've taken my song and allowed it to be a part of a moment in your life that you will never forget, that you will never let go of, that's bigger than any Grammy, any American Music Award. That's bigger than any award that anybody can ever give me. Yeah. My song is going to live with you forever.
Yeah.
Your first dance with your wife, with your new wife, your graduation, whatever the case may be, and you attach the
prom
Neo song
night
to
or
that.
whatever.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. Like that's my success now.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. How did you go through therapy to get to this point in your life?
No.
So you never went to therapy, never.
Nah, I mean,
because it just feels like you did a lot of self work and self reflection to get to this point.
Self work, meaning by myself. Like I'm not knocking therapy. You know, I definitely feel like, you know, there's nothing wrong with having someone unbiased to bounce these different emotions and ideas off of. But that's not to say that you can't do it your damn self. It just takes a little bit of courage to sit in front of a mirror and just really pick apart the person that you see and figure out what you like, figure out what you don't like, and find a way to love all of it. Like that's the key. That's the key part. Self-love before anything else. Think about it. You cannot help anybody if you yourself is messed up. It's the thing they tell you in the airport, in the airplane with the mask.
Yeah.
Put your mask on first, damn it, because you trying to help your kids out and then you suffocate and then they come on, man. You got to help you first.
Yeah.
You got to be all right in order for you to make sure that everybody else is all right if that's your role. And I realize that I have 7 beautiful children that did not ask to be here.
Wow.
They did not ask for this life. They did not ask for the things that are being thrown at them. So I have to make sure that they're straight. And in order for them to be straight, I got to be straight. So for that's part of why I had to sit and just go, all right, bro, what's going on? Like, for real. Like, mind you, the main reason that I've never done anything like therapy, and mind you, I won't say that I've never tried. We tried couples therapy before and you know, things like that. But I've always felt like, if I'm sitting in front of somebody that I don't know and they don't know me, why would I give my deepest, darkest secrets and fears to somebody I don't know?
Yeah.
Like, mind you, it ain't like you care about me and telling me things from a place of love. You telling me things from a place of you trying to get this money that I'm gonna give you for this service that you're providing me right now. You know? Like, so if I was to be honest, if I was to go into a therapy session, I'm gonna probably only give you the stuff that I want you to know. Yeah. And let you try to fix those problems. But the real deep-rooted problems, those are going to sit in the back because, again, I don't trust you. I don't know you.
Yeah.
To
let all
of that out like that. And mind you, again, this is me personally, which is why I had to do it myself. I had to sit in a dark room alone and really go inside and figure out what's going on.
How long was that process for you?
It's an ongoing process.
It never stops.
It's
right?
a practice.
Yeah.
Like, you have to choose. You got to choose.
Like meditation, like, you know, all of that.
Absolutely.
Like, that's a constant practice.
It is a constant thing. You have to, every day that you wake up, you're going to be approached with a situation where you can choose to go the negative route or the positive route every single day. And you have to, every single day, choose positivity, especially nowadays. Again, we're hardwired to anticipate the worst, but hope for the best.
Yeah.
That is not the way life is supposed to be.
Absolutely.
That's not the way life's supposed to be. What you think about is where your energy flows, and where your energy flows is what comes to you. So if you're sitting around anticipating the worst, guess what's coming?
The worst.
Don't do that to yourself.
Because you're inviting that energy in.
Listen, all day long, you have a 50-50 shot at happiness or sorrow.
Yeah.
At up or down. 50-50. One is not more likely than the other based on the way you think. It's all about the way you think and the energy that you put out. The energy you put out is the energy you receive. I walk through the streets of Atlanta by myself. No security. You'll see me in Target. Well, not Target nowadays, but,
right.
But you know, not Target right now. But you know what I'm saying. Like, you'll see me moving, and people are like, you ain't got no security out here. Nah, because I don't welcome that energy. I don't subscribe to that energy.
Yeah.
Bro. Ain't nobody out here trying to get me. Why? For what?
Yeah,
for
I love that. I love that.
Positivity at all times.
How is it on tour with Mary J. Blige?
Man, so I'll say this: we don't get to see Mary a whole lot. You know, Mary keeps to herself, which she has the 100% right to do. Right. But it's one of those things where it's like, when you do see her, it's seeing that person smile that never smiles. It's like the room light up all of a sudden. You know what I mean? So whenever we do see Mary, it's a joyous event. It's a joyous occasion.
That's a great tour, by the way.
Yeah, man.
It's a great tour.
This is a tour for lovers of melody, lovers of music. You literally gonna sing every single song. Mario get up there, and that man, listen, one of the dopest voices in music, if I do say so myself. Like, I tell him all the time, bro. It's like, all right, you know, I understand you want to dance and all of that, but bro, you can stand in one place and just sing your damn song. and get the same amount of screams and love that I get having to dance around with 8 people on stage with me. Trust me, like that's what your voice is. So shouts to the boy Mario.
Do you have to work out in the gym and to keep that up, that dance moves and all of that? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. 45 is
you start to feel
it
in that right knee, right?
Listen,
that's where I get my aches and pains.
I may not look it from the outside, but on the inside, we 45 right here. So yeah, we gotta make sure that things stay working. So yeah, staying in shape is an absolute must.
Are you still vegan?
No. I gave up the vegan thing.
Yeah.
I've learned that moderation is pretty much the sauce of life.
Yeah.
Like, because if you think about it, think about the things that you need to survive, right? You need water, right? Mm-hmm. What happens if you get too much water?
Retain.
You die.
Oh.
Too much water and you will die.
Yeah.
Not enough water and you will die.
Yeah.
Not enough food, you die. Too much food, you die.
Yeah.
Not enough air, you die. Too much air, you die. Everything is designed to sit you right in that gray area.
Yeah.
Not too much of this, not too much of that. Just enough of everything sustains your life.
Yeah. I'm so happy that you are starting a golf line, a clothing line.
Yeah, man.
Because I got into it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not 100% there.
Oh, listen, nobody is.
I'm not.
Nobody is. Don't feel
there,
the way about that. It's all good.
I've taken lessons. I've joined the club. I know how to hit the ball now. Before I couldn't even hit the ball.
Listen, people that don't play don't even understand. Just contact with the ball.
It's very hard.
A joyous occasion. You want to throw a party for the block the first time you hit the ball.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the hardest games on the face of the planet, but it's also one of the dopest games on the face of the planet. First and foremost is you versus you, which is just kind of a metaphor for life in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every hole is another opportunity to fly or fall, and it's going to be different with every hole. Nobody that plays golf is just knocking it out the park the whole game, unless you like a Tiger Woods or somebody like that. And mind you, but to become that takes years.
Yeah.
Like for real, I've been playing around 9 months. Yeah, it's not.
What are you in the 80s
great.
or 90s?
It's not.
Are you still in the 100s?
It's not great. It's not great. However, if I'm going to be out there looking crazy, I'm going to look good while I'm looking crazy. So yes, me and my manager, we developed a golf clothing line. It's called Francis Olago.
Oh, wow, you got it on right now.
OLOGO.
You have women's clothing?
We are in the process of working that out right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But olagosport.com is where you can go to check out the whole line. Hats, shoes, clothes, bags. We get into hardware now with clubs and balls and the whole nine.
I love the fact that black folks are getting into golf and creating clothing lines and really investing in the game. And I know you have a tournament coming up in Atlanta too that you're doing.
April 28th to be exact. It is the first annual Olago Celebrity Golf Tournament. Again, Olago
Who's playing
Sport.
in it?
Man, so we got a few different people playing. I don't want to count no chickens before they hatch. We have a few different people that have promised that they're gonna show up.
Yeah.
We'll see if they actually show up.
Right.
But
if you need me to step in, you could just call me. Right?
No, I want you to pull up. Please do.
Just don't have me on your team because I ain't gonna win you no money.
No, it's all good. Listen, we accept all skill levels. If you a cat to get out there in that course and know what you're doing, pull up. If Top Golf is the height of your skill level, pull up. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's a good time for a good cause. A portion of the proceeds go to the Oasis Academy, which is for gifted orphans. So yeah, man, we doing it up big and we doing it for the right reasons.
I love it.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be at the Eagles Landing Country Club in Atlanta, Georgia, April 28th. Yeah, man, olagosport.com is where you go for all the information if you want to pull up or if you want to play. Either one.
Yeah. Next time you're in New York and you have some time, we should get on a course together.
I am 100% down.
Yeah, when the weather's nice, it still feels like winter here.
Yeah, I mean, you come into New York and you anticipate, pack your coat.
Yeah, pack your coat. But I would love the next time you're here and you have some time, come by the club and we can get 18 holes in.
I'm down. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. When is your album coming out? The last question. When is it coming out?
So here's the thing, and again, this is not a complaint. This is an observation because it is an absolute blessing. We've been on the road damn near 3 years straight, right? From at the 2024, We started with the domestic tour for the Champagne and Roses tour. Then we took it international, and then jumped off that. And at the top of 2025, jumped on this tour. So I have not had a lot of time to get into the studio, which is the only thing that's really holding anything up. I'm an independent artist now. I can put it out whenever I want, but I got to make sure that it's all the way right for y'all. So I would just say, for now, make sure you're checking out the appetizers that is already out there. 2 Million Secrets is out. Show Me is the current single. I just dropped another one not too long ago on my SoundCloud. It's called I Don't Need That. Check that one out.
Do you like being independent?
I love it.
Yeah, you can just drop when you want to drop.
Freedom.
Right?
I can do a song Monday and drop it Tuesday if I feel like it, and that's a beautiful thing. I don't have to listen to the opinions of people that I know don't know nothing about my damn music, but want to tell me what it's supposed to sound like. Listen, I love being independent. I absolutely love it. The only thing, if I was to complain about anything about being an independent artist, every red cent that is spent is one of mine. Every single dime